Hey everyone, make sure you join the Coiners Club Discord channel. You know this is the place. It's the one-stop shop for you to learn how to save money on packs on Evony. And it can be really hard. Sometimes there's loopholes. Sometimes it is like calculus. Like you literally have to understand cross conversions and currency and all that kind of stuff. And this is the best place for you to get all of that info. And so I am so lucky that I have some good friends in Val, and we are making a Discord that is beneficial for you. So if you have teammates that, you wish they would coin more, or you wish that they would, buy packs a little bit smarter and not watch Baby Bear buy a bunch of skins, this is the place for you, because a lot of people will share in real time what they're buying, and that's what people assess. Hey, is this good, or hey, is it bad? And in my initial assessment with the first officer skill book video that I made, my assessment was this might not be a great deal because you can't save these skill books and it would just get replaced, and I kind of was disappointed in that situation. But then I realized that there is a gateway to these skill books that you can actually get a lot of buffs right now for fairly cheap. And I am so excited to share this with you. And then it became a whole thing. So Monkey, he is the Excel wizard, and we started cross-comparing the duty general officers because that is something that you are going to have to do before you decide to put on the skill books. And in all of Evony, I have never found a good Excel sheet that compares duty general officers. So we are going to have that exclusively on our Coiners Club channel. So I'm so excited about this, guys. And I'm excited to share that this is actually affordable. And when I say affordable, I mean, if let's say you spend a couple hundred, you might be able to get like 100% plus buffs. So let's dive into it and let me show you how it is. So in the Discord channel, I listed off these duty officers. And so it looks like we have 3 hospital officers, 1 warehouse, 3 academies, research factory, I think it's 2, forge, I think it's 1 actually. I couldn't find the second one. And then the newest marketplace officer just came out on this event. So that one is the one that we're going to dive into and compare it with the old marketplace officer. So before you dive into skill books, figure out which duty general you're going to use first. And red doesn't necessarily mean it's the best choice for you. So what I did is I did a comparison between Michael and Yolande to see what the differences are and if it's worth going red or if it's worth just fleshing out the older version. So the way we did that is we took every single buff and stat and put it in a comparison chart, and we broke it down so granularly that you will see the differences between each one. Now I'm just going to put that out here that Monkey's Excel sheet is going to be accurate. My little Chat GPT thing right here, I checked it as much as possible, but there might be a little bit of discrepancy. So just calling out that this is not about showing you the exact numbers. It's about how I went about comparing the 2 officers. And I will just have to say that I have been missing out on a ton of buffs and I didn't even realize it. When you lay out the buffs like this, you can actually see the impact. And so on here where you see all troops attack, you'll notice that it says 100%, okay? Now, the reason for that is because 100 is going to be for each troop type. So whenever you have an all anything, it covers all 4 troops. So we're going to actually multiply that by 4. And the same concept happened for everything else. So if there was, let's say, debuff range attack, well, that can apply for defense and offense, right? And just so you know, I only put the debuffs as just a regular flat percentage, but if you are debuffing troops coming at you with a certain amount of attack and vice versa, it's like a variable amount. So I don't believe that debuffs are the same as 1-to-1 like the other buffs, but just for the sake of showing you guys the appearance of comparing the 2, I just quantified it as just a whole number, okay? So look at it here where it says in-city troop attack. So it says 10%, but when you look at the chart, it's actually 40% buffs because it's 10% siege, 10% range, 10% mounted, 10% ground. So basically, just putting every single individualized buff there. So you'll notice here the construction speed is 15%, and then you have all troops attack and all troops defense. And it looks pretty small, right? Just 10% kind of seems a little bit measly. But when you have those general attributes, they are much more valuable. So when you break it all out, you're going to see that if you go to the bottom, you might have to expand out your screen, but at the very bottom, you have Michael at 830 and Yolande at 831. Even though Yolande has this whole column of buffs that Michael doesn't have, they are very specific buffs. They only count for one, right? Attack range defense. It's only one buff. And Michael kind of has a little bit more of the, range attack, and then that's going to count for 2, or in-city troop attack, that's going to count for 4. So when you calculate it all out, you're going to see that they are comparable in buffs, they're just very different buffs. Maybe people are going to be more effective in attacking solo and getting point positive, right? So if somebody's 11 million power march hits maybe a 10 billion castle, but they still have a positive exchange, people are going to want to be putting their offense stats up more. But we haven't seen that in action yet. We've only kind of seen those big, huge rallies that are coming at people, and, people are getting cleared for a lot. But we haven't seen also all of the new defense buffs that people can upgrade. So we haven't really seen what the playing ground is going to be until probably, I would say, even next All-Stars. I think Challenge is even too soon to kind of understand what the, mechanics are going to be and how things are going to play out. So probably by next All-Stars, people are going to understand what is most important to upgrade. Maybe if you're a player like I am, maybe you want to wait and observe before you start making these decisions. I'm making these decisions strictly so that I can show you guys how I'm going to upgrade these office skill books, and hopefully it will help you out, and hopefully you understand why the thought process of which general you're going to use, and then the thought process of how you're going to skill up your duty generals. But what this made me realize is I totally have been sleeping on actually fleshing out the duty generals, because I just, put it to 6-star, 7-star, called it a day. And I didn't realize that the older generals actually still have comparable buffs. It's not like one is 400% more than the other. They are very similar, but with just different kinds of buffs. And so that generation of Michael was in the defense duty generals. The new generation that we have in the red chests are the offense generals. Now, in my mind, that the next generation that's going to come out is going to go back to defense. So a lot of people, might think, hey, maybe I should wait. But I think that at this point, with the cost of the older generals, I think it's about $200 now in Revelry Carnival where you can get one chest. That is still quite pricey, right? That's still quite pricey. And it's just one of those things where, do you want to equip yourself with an offense stats, or do you want to try to hold out and try to take those 200 million rallies? And maybe we find out that we actually can't take 200 million rallies, and maybe fleshing out your defense like we did before is maybe not the smart choice, and maybe doing offense is. So this is why I wanted to make the video, so you understand what your future is for Evony, and sometimes just waiting and observing is sometimes the better choice. But because I want to show you guys how to get your skill books up without spending an arm and a leg, you're going to want to go to your academy and go under skill book, and under duty, they actually have the purple freaking skill books. I did not know that. Thank you to my Discord channel that pointed this out. This made everything so much different. It made everything completely different. So as you see here, I know that I'm going to upgrade the market officer, right? Because this is what the video is about. So if I was someone that didn't have a lot of gems, I would just choose the market officer if I was only going to do one. But since I know I'm going to do all of them, I'm just going down the line and I'm just hitting all of them because I want to have a collection for me to be able to have enough purples because you know that they're going to replace each other. But you can do this very frugally and only do what you need. So I think I collected enough for me to go to the skill section, and I'm going to go to the bottom where market officer is, and I'm going to choose each skill book and try to place them so that all three will go. Now, I just want to say for the record, this is not normal, all right? I did not have one book replaced, and I would hate if I had only this to show you guys because it is not the norm. And I did a couple more officers just so that you guys can see that. So now, the next step is to go find my level 4 skill books, right? And I don't know if some of you are going to do defense and offense. Maybe some of the whales out there are going to do it, but you don't necessarily have to go straight to your level 4 skill book. You can, maybe just do level 3 on one of your officers and do level 4 on another, or just save that level 4 for the next generation. Maybe you want to just kind of future proof and give yourself some stats now. That's totally up to you. But it looks like we don't have a triple coupon for this, but I would recommend using your triple coupons for this because you're getting 4 extra skill book chances, right? And some of those skill books are quite big on the buffs. So looking here, it looks like I don't even qualify for the level 4 yet, and that has a triple coupon. So looks like I'm stuck and I'm going to have to use a double coupon for this. And so we're going to go ahead and do that. And as you see, I have not been spending yet because I thought I was going to do the lost treasure, but I pivoted, realizing that this is going to give me way more buffs than a pretty castle. So let's find out how the drops are here. And by the way, my game has been really slow, laggy, and glitchy ever since these updates, and I'm like trying to not get a new phone. And this is exactly what happens when I join rallies, but I swear, if I get a new phone, Big T's going to cry because I'm going to make more points than him because I'm going to get into rallies faster. So I'm just, I'm nerfing myself. So when I open up all of the chests together, I got 3 of the level 4s. Now, I don't know if opening up all of the chests at once or doing the 2, 4, 6 is better. I have not seen really a clear pattern, but this drop is pretty darn good for 3 level 4s because those are 15%, there's even some 20% buffs on the level 4s. So we're going to go ahead and go to the cake because I spent that last double coupon. It opened up the cake 4, so now I can collect that triple coupon. And I'm going to go ahead and use that triple coupon just to show you guys another drop so that you guys can see, what it might be like for you. Obviously, my experience is probably going to be different than yours, but I want to show you guys a couple times, what it looks like just so that you're not disappointed if like I have some good luck or I have some bad luck. So we're going to go ahead and triple this again, and just know you see my phone just so slow. So I'm telling Big T and Monkey, I am slow because of my phone, all right? I swear, if I get a new phone, I'm going to start beating them in points. So this one that I just opened, all of them at the same time, has 0. That is disappointing. This deserves a screenshot to CS and be like, that's BS. A triple coupon, that's 3 packs, got you no level 4s. I think it should just be a guarantee that you get a level 4 every 8 that you open. But whatever. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to go scroll to the top and we're going to see if I have any level 4 marketplace skill books. And if I do, then it's going to be very, very easy for me to replace over on top of the purple buffs that I have. Now, I also have like a level 3, which is 5%. And let's say I was on the fence about using Michael as my, my end game guy. Maybe I would just go ahead and use the level 3 just to hold me over until I'm ready to do that big purchase, and then I can use that level 4. But because, at least for my spend level, because these are kind of affordable for me, I think that it's okay to go ahead and just use that level 4 and get maybe a good 8 months, 9 months, a year out of this general, and then in another year, yes, I'm going to have to do it again. By that time, it's probably going to be cheaper, right? They're probably going to put, these officer duty skill books, in monster drops. Who knows? But that is kind of the trend of how this game is things get cheaper over time. So let's add up the value of the buffs and see if this is a good deal for a couple of $100. Me specifically, I spent $300 for this. So we have 5% ranged troop and siege machine HP in rally. So that's 10% buffs right here for level 3. We have level 4, the in rally range troop and siege machine attack for 10%, which is actually 20%. So that is 30% buffs total. And then we have the freebie one here, that's 1%, and that's actually 2% because it's in rally troop and siege machine defense for 1%. Since I have another level 3, I'll go ahead and replace that. But overall, you're going to see here that for the $300 that I spent, I got 20, 30, 40% buff increase just for one general, okay? So you know that I got a bunch of level 4s for other generals too, so just think about all of the buffs that are going to add up. Now, you might come into, a situation where you get double the skill books, and that's going to suck, but at least you're going to have a reserve for the future. So there's at least that, but hopefully you don't get, double skill books too much. I didn't actually experience that yet, but I don't think I've bought enough packs to have that happen. So if I was to get all level 4s for Michael, it would be 60% increase of the total buffs. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys me doing a couple more generals just so that you see that it is not a perfect placement. You're going to see this replacing each other for a few times. So I just got lucky somehow on the very first one, but you're going to see a bunch of back and forth. So that is why when I was doing the skill book in the academy, that's why I was just buying a whole bunch of purple books, because I knew that I was going to waste them. And so here you can actually see how most of the time it is. Like, it's almost all the time you're wasting. So at least we got the third one, and now we're going to go back up to the top and see if I got any level 4s. I really didn't look at Blanche's stats. I mean, I think she's just the most recent one. I think probably they'll come out with another hospital officer, but there's 3 of them out already, so I'm thinking that maybe it's going to be another 8 months. So we'll go ahead and be dangerous and use that level 4. And you're going to see here on the stats for the level 4, it's going to be different for everything. So this one is attacking ground troop HP by 15%. So this is one of those stats that I really don't like, where it only applies to just one. So you're only getting 15% for the hospital officer. I'm going to go ahead and do the warehouse officer, even though I'm sure there's going to be another one that comes out soon. I think it's worth just putting on the skill books to show you guys. And again, I want to show you what it really is like most of the time when you're trying to place these purples. So I'm super glad that I just bought a whole bunch just to get it out of the way. You know what? It saved me time. But if you are very gem frugal and you need to hold on to every single gem that you have, then only do the ones that you need. And yeah, only do the ones that you need. So let's see if we have any. Do we have any reds? No. Well, yeah, we actually do. We have 2 reds actually. So let's. You can tell I'm thinking here. Like I'm going down, I'm looking at the threes because yeah, I'm like, I don't know. Guinevere's been out for a really long time. I'm sure they're gonna have an upgrade. But it doesn't look like, yeah, there's only level twos. So the warehouse one is mounted, and because monsters are so hard to kill now with the new generation of monsters, I definitely want to upgrade. So, oh, am I buying another pack? How dare I? I don't even remember buying this stuff. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah. See how slow my phone is? This is proof. So if you ever hear Big T say that I'm slow, blame my phone, okay? I am not slow. Okay, well, at least this is good so that you guys can see another drop rate, and I'm going to go ahead and open up all at the same time. And I think I'll probably do it differently next time because as you see here, no fours. Not one. So now that's 5 packs, right? Triple and doubles that I did not get level 4s. I think that's worth a note to CS. And it just shows it's like one of those things where they lure you in with that first couple of packs and they give you the 4s and they make you think that you're going to always get a 4 every time you buy a pack, and that's just not the case. So at least you see here that they're going to do some BS to you. So make sure you take the gambling factor into account if you're deciding, what packs you want to buy. Sometimes just doing the guaranteed event packs is better, but for me, this is definitely worth it. So this one here, the mounted troop defense, is going to apply for attack and for defense, so that would be a 4% increase, but some of these are attacking mounted troop attacks, so that is only 2%, and unfortunately, just some of the buffs are like that. Okay, for the next officer, we are going to show you the purple skill books again. And for whatever reason, I got lucky. This is the second time that I got lucky where it did not replace each other. And we're going to go ahead and replace with what I have. And let's see here. These skills are only attacking type skills. So I think this is also good for you. If you are under a budget, you can decide, hey, I don't want the ones that are just attacking because maybe you don't care about attack because you're a trap and you only focus on defense. So it wouldn't be beneficial to you to, skill book up that officer because you're really wanting the general ones or the defense ones. So this is my last general, and this one is the most stubborn. I hope I have enough skill books to get through this, but for 3,000 gems per skill book, it's not a big deal if I have to buy more, but let's see if we need to. Come on, there we go. So, yeah. I really didn't spend that much gems, guys, on the purple skill books. I really didn't. I mean, all of the cost is just coming from the packs directly. So, I'm probably not going to do the level 4 on this officer, but as you see here, it's 20% in rally ground troop attack. So it's only the one buff, but it's 20%. I'm going to hold off on using it because I have a feeling that another forge officer is going to come out. So while I, went ahead and did the warehouse one, I think I'm just going to hold off on the forge one just because some of these buffs are not ideal for me, so I think maybe the next generation would be better. But so I'm gonna hold off on this, but I'm gonna close this by showing you guys what Monkey's Excel sheet looks like. Now, Monkey gets very granular, and I'm one of those people that's like top level only. I only want to see bird's eye view, but he wanted to include the comparisons between stars because he's like, it's not realistic when you're comparing 10 and 10 because most people in Evony can't afford that, right? So he's breaking it down by this is the comparison of 6 stars, this is the comparison of 7, and so on. So it might be a little bit more information than, I like to see in one view, and we will, update it and such. Like, this is just his first draft, but he is the king of Excel sheets. He is not king of monkeys. He's king of Excel. So hope to see you guys in the Coiners Club Discord because this is going to exclusively be there. And your feedback, we can update this, we can crowdsource this, whatever is helpful for you guys. So not only are you guys going to be saving money, but you're going to make really good decisions about comparing your duty generals. This is a huge source of buffs that a lot of us didn't even realize. And I hope that you guys get some great skill books and let me know in the comments how you guys do.